Evening everyone, Cliff here in the shed, and you're more than welcome to join me. Now, I've been having some shenanigans with my new lathe, the Emco. I tried to level it, I wanted to get it nice and level, but the floor in here is a little bit suspect. So, while I've been playing with it, I find it a little bit low as well. It's I mean, I'm by no means a tall person and it's on its proper stand, but I find it a little bit low compared to my ML7. My ML7, I probably made that a bit high. But to try and kill two birds with one stone, I thought I'd make a couple of H-frames to go underneath the two plinths, make some machine jacks to go in there. I bought this 60x30 box. I've drilled some holes in there. They're about 22mm. I think they was about, I don't know, 50 something 64ths, because it's the biggest drill I had. And I'm just going to put some metal bar in there, tack it in, and I'll thread it, a female thread in there, and make some threaded feet so I can get a spanner on there, and I'll have 8 points of levelling. So to that end, the maxi mat's got on the gearbox, it's got a 4mm pitch thread, so I thought that'd be ideal, because I want to make a square thread for this, because I want a lock bearing on it. Obviously it's quite heavy, so I put it into the 4mm thread. I'm going to use a little 2mm parting bit to do the thread. I thought I'd do a little test before I made the actual ones I'm going to make, and this is what I've got. So this is a bit of bar, it's not the size I want it, but this is the one I did the little run on to test it. And I'll zoom you in just a little bit. So this is it. I mean, it seems to cut the thread very nicely, but if I can find me bloody calipers, I'm back. Right, let that focus a bit. Anyway, right, so that's the thread. Golden Bennett. Right, so there's the thread, and if I measure that, we've got 3.37 on there. I mean, the thread inside there is just over 2mm, as you would expect, because that's how big the cutter is. And if I sort of measure, I mean, that should be 6mm between there and there, and it's 8.6, 8.16, sorry. So there's something wrong with it. So I'll set the gearbox up for a 1.5mm thread. Give that a little scratch, and as you can see, it's nothing like it. So obviously I was having a bit of an head scratch and weren't sure exactly what the problem was. The lead screw, the handle on the end, that weren't quite tightened up, so I tightened that up. I thought that was it. I thought the lead screw had a little bit of movement in it, but that weren't it. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I'll show you what the problem is. So I was very fortunate that when I did the first video on this, one of my viewers, Chris, very kindly sent me some PDFs of the user manual, and more importantly the parts list. I'd already actually bought a user manual, paid £10.50 for it, didn't need to. Chris sent me the PDFs for both of them, but the parts list has been very, very important to me. It's I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Chris. It helped me out when I was doing the apron, locating a spring where I didn't go where it was, didn't know where it went. But here on the tumble gear here, this gear here should be a 45 tooth gear as it comes, and this is a 55. So that's where the problem is. It's this tumble gear. It's this gear that drives the rest of the train. This is the one that goes in and out when you're either traversing or threading, and obviously this gear is the one that engages with it, and it's causing the problem in the gearbox, not cutting the threads right. It should be a 45 tooth gear. Now this is the gear in question. It's obvious, I don't know if it's obviously original or not, but it's a 55 tooth gear. Now I was watching Stephen Gottswinter make a couple of phenolic gears for his lathe before I'd realised I had this problem. So I happen to know that they are a module 1, the teeth on these, which don't help me because I haven't got any module 1 cutters. I have ordered some from China, ordered a set for 36 quid, which seems quite cheap to me. See what they're like when they get here. They're probably on their way here. They're probably coming down the Yancey on a junk at the moment, waiting to get on a donkey and come down to Silk Road in a couple of months. But anyway, that don't alleviate my immediate problem. So, I mean, I do know that this gear would have to be 47mm diameter. It's 10mm thick, and it needs a module 1 cutter to cut the teeth. So I did think about making just a single point cutter and trying to cut them, but then I saw a video of a bloke making he found on Thingiverse the program, you know, the code for making a thread dial indicator for his South Bend lathe. So I had a look on Thingiverse to see if there was anyone who might be making these gears on there, but there isn't, so that was a non-starter. But something I found out through doing that was that the Master car catalogue is actually on Fusion 360. So you can go into the insert box on it, and then it's got a drop down menu, and the McMaster car catalogue is there, and you can find something on there and take it out and put it into your workspace on Fusion 360. So even with my limited knowledge of Fusion 360, I managed to find a gear, a 45 tooth module 1 gear. It wasn't right because it had a boss on it out here, and it only had an 8mm centre hole, but even with my limited skill I was able to edit it in Fusion 360, convert it into G-code, because Fusion 360 does that for you, and print one out. And here it is. I even managed to put the 2 little pinholes, because there's 2 little pinholes in this that locate it on the lathe, and this is it. I'm very surprised at how accurate it is to come out. I mean, it's on my calipers, it's 47.17 the diameter, and I could probably squeeze them tight and make it right. But and if I line it up with this the gear that come off it, the teeth are absolutely spot on perfect. So stick it on the lathe and give it a go. Right, well here's the little beauty pinned to the 50 tooth gear that goes on the tumble reverse. Let's whack him on there and see how it goes. Need an Allen key now to pull that up. Right, let's engage it. We're certainly running it all right. I'd probably expect that. Right, let's give it a try. Right, I've got a bit of plastic in there. I've got it all set up for a 1.5. Touch that up and zero it just in case. Right, well let's engage the half nut and see what happens. That's enough to be able to see. Right, let's go and get my thread gauge. And there you have it. Spot on. Robert is your mother's brother. There you go. So that was the problem with it. And that is a little 3D printed gear in it. Now what that's going to be like when I use it in anger, I'm not quite sure. Right, well now that's sorted out. Hopefully. See how that gets on when I do a bit of threading with it. Especially this thread, because like I say, it's going to be a 4mm pitch, 2mm wide cuts in it. So what I'm going to do, I've got these bits of metal. I'm going to turn them down. I'm going to do about a 19mm diameter on the male ones, and obviously do the female ones. Just turn these down to fit into these holes. I'll turn these down on my Myford and then I'll have a go at the threading on the on the new lathe. So I'll get over to the Myford and start turning it down. Well, I don't know why, but the other camera was playing up a bit. So anyway, I've just faced that off, centre popped it so I can get a bit of tail stock support, and I'm just going to turn this down to 30mm length and about 20mm diameter. Right, I'm getting pretty close now. Another couple of passes should do it. Dimensions here ain't that critical because I'm going to finish them off on the other lathe before I put the actual threads on. About 20.76, I'll take another arc off it. It's about 20.5mm, so that's close enough. Basically what I'm going to do now is turn it round, do the same to the other end, and then get it over to the other lathe. Right, well, I've turned it down to size. I'm in the Emco now. I've got a 2mm parting off bit in there, and I'm on the 4mm pitch on the gearbox. So let's give it a go and see what happens. See if that plastic gears up to it. Right, this should be maybe a scratch cut. I haven't got a thread dial indicator on here, so only marvellous, it dropped out straight away. Right, I hadn't engaged the half nut properly. I'm still getting used to this lathe. Right, let's have another go. And I'll put a little bit of cut on it so I can see where I am. That's going to be a pain. Start it up, engage the half nut. It's actually caught it exactly on. Now it does say in the manual there are some threads you can engage anywhere on the half nut. Can't imagine 4 would be one because it's a 3mm half nut. But anyway, I'm not going to risk it. Alright, see this wobbly floor is making the camera wobble about, isn't it? I ain't really got enough on that, but that's looking a lot better than it was. 6.09 that said. Right, let's carry on, cut it and see how we get on. Right, well the plastic gear has managed to cut that one. I'm going to do a female one now and see how I get on with that, because I have had a few breakages with these inserts in there. They're a bit of a pain in the arse. I might have to, for the others, I might have to make up an HSS 2mm bit for that. But I'm going to try and do an internal one next. But the plastic wheel has held up to cut that, so it looks like it might be alright. Let's just have a look at it, see if it's frayed or anything. No, other than a bit of oil on it, it don't look any the worse for wear. It's pretty amazing, isn't it, being out to it's like being in Star Trek. It's like being on the Enterprise in Star Trek and having a replicator in your workshop. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to knock this one on the head. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.